You're about to witness sports mastery in the making. The only birdies and eagles you're likely to see are those flying overhead as you're about to watch me suck at mini golf.
Hello and welcome to 2025's premiere of Watch Me Suck at Mini Golf. Starting where we normally do, Mulligan's Miniature Golf in Sterling, Massachusetts. You're seeing a picture of the sign because we came at a point where it got busy and the music is cranked loud, so you're probably not going to hear any in-game audio at this point. Anyway, it took till the 21st of June for weather to cooperate to start the season. In fact, this place opened the first week of May. That's how long we had to wait. Anyway, per usual, we start here. Then we have the mid-show, which is we go somewhere new, or new to us. And then we have the roundout, the final, depending on whether or not the company outing happens or not. And then we'll just play from there. So let's just go inside and start. Of course, we're going to go over the course rules, the ones that apply to us, being single player. Play at your own risk. Where's the fun? Groups don't care. 6-stroke limit per hole. They changed it slightly where if you have 6 strokes, you mark down 7. Everyone in a group don't care. Place out of bounds ball where it went out and take a 1-stroke penalty. Ball resting against an obstruction may be moved 6 inches. Ball by another player, don't care. Golf ball floats in water hazards. Use the scoopers or ask for assistance, and again a 1-stroke penalty. Of course, the funny thing here is I've played here several times, and yet still there's the uneven slopes and hills that I trip over. You don't see it in the video because it's usually after giving you the tour of the hole. Kind of funny. Anyway, let's get started, for real. Hole number 1, par 2, 41 feet. It's relatively simple. It bangs to the right. You don't want to go too far right, and there's a downward slope as you hit the bridge. Somehow if you wind up there, you've done something really wrong. And it's pretty much a straight shot to the hole. First shot. There it goes. Off the wall, off the other wall, over the bridge, going down the slope, and heading towards the hole, against the wall. It's lined up pretty well so far. Pretty good. For an even par, and in it goes. Hole number 2, par 2. Start here. And then we work our way towards the hole. Watch out for the sand trap. No penalties for that. And then you got the planter over here. Definitely don't want to get involved with that. However, before the hole, there is a bit of an uphill that you don't see. And there's the target. First shot. Lining it up. There it goes. Off to the right. Barely missing the bunker. Going towards the planting. Oh no, not enough momentum to go up that little hill. It's still rolling down. Will it stop? Still rolling. And it finally did. Second shot. There it goes. This time going over the hill and by the hole. It's far back. For the bogey. There's the shot and right by it on the left. For the double bogey. There it is, and ooh, off to the right now. Hole number 3, the porcupine, par 3. We start here. And we go straight up the middle, dead end on the left. Don't want to go there. Water hazard on the right. Definitely don't want to go there. Want to go straight. Goes up ever so slightly. And there's a slight pitch towards the left. Can kind of see that there. And there's your target. The hole. First shot. Lining it up. And there's the swing. Up it goes. Off to the left. Over the hole. Is it going to stop before the downhill? Yes, it does. Lined up pretty well. Long shot for a birdie. There it is, and in it goes. Hole number 4, par 2. We start here. And it goes up a hill slightly. And then there's another little hill. But you want to go that way, but not that way. Of course, you got the sausage link there. Trying to get you to the hole. First shot. Up the hill it goes. Bounces off the rock and oh no. It's heading back down. That's not good. It's not going to stop. Out of bounds. 1-stroke penalty. Third shot. Up the hill it goes. Bounces off the wall. Goes over the hill. And rests right there. For the double bogey. There's the shot. And just to the left of the hole. Lined up for a triple. Hole number 5, par 3. And we start over here. And we go up. And you could either take the narrow bridge or the footbridge. Either way, you want to avoid the water. And you'll wind up here on this part where it rolls downhill quite a bit and a bit of an aggressive hill at that point. Heading towards the hole. First shot. There it goes over the footbridge. Onto the green, rolling down the hill, down the big hill, bouncing off. And into the rough. Lined up pretty good. Going for birdie, and in it goes. Hole number 6, par 2. You start here, and you got 2 choices. You could take the embanked left side, or the relatively straight right side. And you get that same thing again. High bank on the left, flat and straight on the right. Trying to get to the hole. First shot. There it goes. Off the rock, around the banking, and heading backwards on the straight a little bit, and there it rests. For a very unlikely par. There it goes, taking the banking around the corner, just by the hole, and into the sand trap. For the bogey, there it is, and ooh, just to the right. Hole 7, par 2. We start here. This is one of those you got to go in the middle. Downward sand trap, upward just an annoying sausage. Again, stay in the middle where it's relatively flat to get to the hole. First shot. And there it goes. It's off slightly to the left, staying in the middle. Bending to the right, past the hole, and it's a wee bit far. For a somewhat lengthy par, there it goes, and ooh, just barely missed. Another bogey. Hole number 8, the raccoon. Anyway, we start here. Again, it's another split decision. You could go to the right where it's straight or left where it's slightly banked. You got to avoid Mr. Rock either way, which then you don't want to go towards the water hazard, which is now blocked off since last year. You want to go to the right where the hole is. First shot, and going for the straight, going right through, and oh no, wrong side, right next to the little lip. For another unlikely par, up the lip, and in it goes. Hole number 9, par 2, relatively short. You start here, and you go up a slight hill over the bridge. Passing the Coke machine, you go down a slight hill towards the hole. First shot, there it goes up on the bridge, banging off the wall, down the hill. Ooh, right over the hole. Set up for a pretty far par shot. For another long, unlikely par, there's a shot and another one in. Progress is all over the place on this one. Started out okay with a par, and then bad luck on hole 2. Couple of birdies, 3 and 5, and hole 4, well, the big hill. That kind of killed that. Surprisingly, got it in. Hole number 6 is where we got the double bogey and met the par requirement for the front 9. And 7, 8, 9. Well, 7 little hiccup, a 1 over, and then a couple of evens at 8 and 9. So, of course, as I said, we met the par of 20 at 6. We are at 27, whopping 7 over. I guess the first 2 times I played here was dumb luck. So, how will the second half go? Let's find out. And number 10, par 3. We start here. And we got a split decision again with an uphill that goes in either direction. More of an uphill on the right. And a dip. And then you got another big hill heading up towards the hole. First shot. And off to the left, bouncing off the walls. Oh no, it's going down the hill. Oh, but it stopped. Second shot, up the hill it goes, and set up pretty well. For an even par, there's the shot, and ooh, to the right of the hole. Hole 11, par 2. We start here. And if you're a really bad shot, you'll wind up in the drink over there. But you want to go over the bridge. And it's just a gentle sweeping right-hand turn towards the hole. But before we go there is indeed a deep dip over there, just pointed out. Then the hole. First shot. Way to the right, just bouncing off the bridge. Ball just pretty much gone nowhere. For a very unlikely par, hard swing, there it goes, to the left of the hole, and set up okay. For the bogey, there's a shot, and oh, in and out of the hole. Hole number 12, the duck, par 2. we start here. And once again, you're really bad if you wind up on the right. So you go left. You got the little berm over there to help guide the ball to the left so that it could hopefully get to the hole. First shot. There it goes. Off to the left. Sausage helping it out and falls short. For another very unlikely par, there's a shot and past the hole. For the bogey, there's a shot and ooh, on the lip. Lucky 13, par 3. And we start here. And you got two choices. You could go to the left, although you want to avoid the bunker, or take the hole over there that's on the hill, which comes out here. Looks a bit dodgy still, so maybe you might want to avoid it on your way to the hole. First shot. And there's a swing going the conservative route. And bouncing around, going in the wrong direction, though. Pretty far. Second shot. There it goes, and oh, in and out of the hole. Hole 14, par 2. We start here. And then we go there. There's a bit of a embankment over to the left you don't want to hit. Otherwise, the tree will get in the way. Pretty much want to stay somewhat to the right in order to get to the hole. First shot. Aiming far right. Hitting the wall. Bouncing around. Bouncing off the back. And set up well. Going for even par. And in it goes. Hole 15, par 3. We start here in another split decision, the figure 8. Do you want to go the high road or the low road? Either way, you snake your ball one way or the other. Although tougher if you wind up going under, especially if it stops in the middle of the bridge, to get to the hole. First shot, aiming for the upper, and over the bridge it goes. Down the bridge it goes, and stays against the wall. For a chance of a birdie, there's the shot, and ooh, on the lip. Hole 16, the rabbit, par 2. We start here. And we got a set of embankments to help guide your ball to the right. And after that, there's a little bit of a drop to help you get to the hole. First shot. There it goes off to the right. Helped by the embankment, bouncing off the walls, and heading towards and just by the hole. Set up pretty good, though. Set up for par, and in it goes. Almost didn't. Hole 17, par 3. We start here. And it's a long bridge going over the water. And it goes to the right. Hard drop over there. Sometimes people in the way. Trying to get to the hole. First shot. There it goes, bouncing off the walls, making its way around the corner, going down the hill, heading towards the hole, but stops short. Chance at a birdie. There's the swing. It's off to the left and not enough power. The Moose Hole, par 2. And it's a straight shot, but again it's narrow as you have gutters on both the left and the right, as well as a sand trap on either side. Keep it straight or power your way through the gutters to get to the hole. First shot, and there it goes. It's heading right. It went through the bunker, bouncing around, heading towards the hole. Falls short. For par, there's a shot. It looks good, and in it goes. It may not have as many impressive things going for it, but the second half definitely went a little bit better. Yeah, it was a little rough on 10, 11, and 12, especially 11 and 12 with the double bogeys, but then we stayed even, starting with lucky 13, and managed to pull that all the way through. And we went over par for the back half at hole 16, and at hole 13, we went over for the entirety of the course. However, for the back, we are only 5 over with 27. 22 was the target. Grand total 42. 54 is what we got. 12 over par. So I guess we can say it was bad. The beginning looked promising, but then we had some really bad faltering going on there. And, well, that pretty much wrecked the whole thing. So I guess this course is hard as they said it is. I just got, again, lucky the first 2 times I played it. That concludes the 2025 season opener of Watch Me Suck at Mini Golf. From Mulligan's Miniature Golf in Sterling, Massachusetts, this is George F551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.